Hi everyone, you ready for the next chapter of Junie B, first grader? In the last one, we learned that Junie B, she told her mom that she thinks the tooth fairy is a tooth witch and is going to eat her tooth. So she does not want to put her tooth under her pillow. So today we're going to read chapter 6 called Full of Soup. And we're going to find out what she does. Okay. That night, Daddy tucked me into bed. He said that Polly Allen Puffer's brother is full of soup. There's no such thing as a tooth witch, Junie B, he said. I promise you there isn't. Polly Allen Puffer's brother just made that up to scare Polly Allen. And then Polly Allen said it to scare you, too. I shook my head. No, Daddy, no, it's not made up. I know it isn't, because the tooth witch makes sense. That's why. I said, she makes way more sense than the tooth fairy. Daddy raised his eyebrows. Why? He asked. Why does a tooth witch make more sense than a fairy? Because, I said, because the tooth witch likes to chomp the teeth. But the tooth fairy doesn't do anything with the teeth, right? So why would she even pay money for them? Daddy did a little frown. Well, I don't know exactly, he said, but I'm sure that she must do something with the teeth, Junie B. There are other things to do with teeth besides chomping them, you know. Like what? I asked. Daddy put his head in his hands. And then he thought and he thought and he thought. After he got done thinking, he went to get Mother. She came into my room carrying Fussy Ollie. She handed him to Daddy and sat down on my bed. Daddy said you have another problem about the tooth fairy, she said. I nodded. Yes, I said, because if there's really a fairy, then she has to have a reason to want the teeth, right, Mother? She wouldn't just throw them in the garbage, because that doesn't make any sense. Plus, also, it would hurt my feelings. Mother hugged me. No, Junie B, of course she doesn't throw them in the garbage, she said. I'm sure the tooth fairy does something very special with the teeth. Like what? I said. Mother ran her tired fingers through her hair. She stood up and walked back and forth on my rug. Here's a picture of Junie B, and Mother and Daddy and Ollie all trying to figure out what to tell Junie B. How to explain this to her. There's no tooth witch. Then all of a sudden her face got brighter. I know. I bet the fairy uses the teeth to make jewelry, she said. At first, Daddy and I didn't say any words. We just stared and stared at that woman. Jewelry? I said finally. Mother smiled. Yes, of course, she said. Probably she uses the teeth to make little tooth necklaces and bracelets and cute little toe rings. How does that sound? I made a sick face. Sounds repulsive, said Daddy. Mother stopped smiling. She quick took Ollie back from Daddy, and she hurried out of my room. After she left, Daddy finished tucking me in bed. I'm sorry about that, Junie B, he said. I'm afraid Ollie has your mother worn to a frazzle these days, and I'm sure she's not right about the jewelry thing. He did a little shiver. No, she's certainly not, he said. Then before I could ask any more questions about the fairy, he kissed me goodnight, and then he rushed out of the room as fast as Mother. That night, I did not put my tooth under my pillow. Also, I did not put it under there the night after that, or the night after that, because you know what? That fairy still did not make sense. What do you think? Do you think it's a tooth fairy or a tooth witch? I'd like to think it's a tooth fairy, because the witch kind of scares me a little bit. I think it's a tooth fairy. But we will find out what Junie B does tomorrow when we read chapter 7 called A Stumper.